Here on the Gulf Coast of Florida with my son Miles. Miles, say hi. Hi. We're just doing a little vacation, continuing the travel, and yeah, this is the little house that we on the waterways over here. We'll get you some good views. But to look back at the Trolo chart. The Trolo chart is something, if you've been following this channel for a while, you will know that the Trolo chart is the indicator I've been using for the crypto market for the past 2-3 years, and really thanks to Mark DeMessel. Mark DeMessel is someone who's brought it to my attention. I see a lot of other people do use the Trolo chart, but I always like to credit Mark because he's the one that brought it to my attention. And what is the Trolo chart saying? So it's on the thumbnail of this video, and it's saying that the current total market cap is right around fair market value. Right, Miles?
Yeah.
Let me keep on walking by. Good morning, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. So fair market value, what does that mean? So it's just a logarithmic chart that looks at the median price value of cryptos since its inception. And let's take the average price, and that becomes median value, or also known as fair value. Good morning, OG. How you doing, brother? Just reviewing the Trolo chart. Something I've been using, studying the market for many years, and it's saying that we are still in a bull market. And now a lot of Bitcoin Cash people could really care less, right? Because bear, bull, it works, and we're starving the state and all those things. But for a lot of people, price action does mean a lot, and I do use it as a tool as an investor. So fair market value. I do think it is wise to accumulate here if we are in a bull market. But I will say this: if we do go below fair market value, we could fall into a multi-year bear market. But we haven't done that. The market is respecting the fair market value. In the past, if you look at the chart during different bull cycles, in a bull market, we have gone down and touched fair market value, but we have not gone below it first. When we go below fair market value, it tends to go and hit those lower bands in the Trolo chart. So, but what we have not done, which is very exciting, we have not hit the highest band, the higher. Most times we go past the top band, which is the extreme blow off top scenario, which we really haven't seen, even though we've seen quite a bit of growth. But a lot of people who haven't been in crypto for a long time don't understand how crazy these things can get, and it doesn't even feel like that's the scenario, right? It feels like, the bears are kind of right now. We're gonna be in a multi-year bear market. Like, I feel like that's the overall sentiment. But markets are more counterintuitive than that. Here's a nice view of the water that we're on over here on this island. Miles, get out of the road, baby. So please ask questions. A lot of people hear all the noise, they see the volatility in price, and it's very hard to see the forest over the trees. So that's where I think things like the Trolo chart is very indicative on what is actually going on. So as long as we are staying at or above fair market value, and we are also respecting last year's crash, at least the major coins are respecting, and the total market cap is respecting total market cap that we crashed. I think we fell all the way down to 1.3 trillion. We haven't gone back there. Ethereum went under 2,000 bucks. That hasn't happened. Bitcoin BTC fell just under $30,000. We respected that. And then some of the other coins like Bitcoin Cash have struggled. But that's nothing really new for Bitcoin Cash. But I do think that if we're looking at what this next real part of the bull cycle looks like, I think a lot of these OG coins that have underperformed their 2017 levels get their time in the sun, because that's something that we haven't seen. Bitcoin Cash did run up to 1,600, and it fell back down, all the way down to maybe 300 bucks today. So, but these coins like Neo and EOS and Dash and Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, a lot of these older coins have not hit their previous highs. And also in the title, I put we're going to see a $7 to $10 trillion market blow off top. The reason I'm going a little bit higher, because the longer that we don't blow off the top, the higher the median fair market value of crypto becomes. And we typically, the way we measure the market is to see how exponential we go past fair market value. So I was really estimating if we blew off the top last year, we could 700%. We could do a 7x the fair market value, because in previous cycles we've 16x them and 32x the fair market value. I thought a 7x was reasonable, but the longer that we stay around fair market value goes up higher. The longer the price stays above it, the median value of it goes up. So now if fair market value is 1.5 trillion, if we 7x that, we're closer to a $10 trillion market cap. I'm not one to get greedy. I will be taking profits, to be honest, around 5 trillion, and I'll probably be mostly out by 7 trillion and leave the 10 trillion for the brave to chase. And then I will be in heavy accumulation mode. So in previous cycles, or in the bear cycle last year, if you look at the Trolo chart, again on the thumbnail here, if you look at the lower band, that's where we really want to accumulate. That's where I was buying Ethereum at, $90, Bitcoin Cash at, $130. Like that was the real big opportunity to make some real life changing money. There's still some great money to make right now, but the biggest money will be made in the bear market. It's going to take years to see it, but it's clear on the Trolo chart that it will happen. Check out this view, guys. I'm gonna coast here. Miles, you want to take a seat with me? Take care. Beat it. OG had a question here, or comments. Top chat. How was St. Kitts? I missed if you said you were there or back and forth in Florida. So I could not get into St. Kitts. And if you guys are watching this video, everyone needs to check out what's going on in St. Kitts. Mark Falzon is making a lot of great content over there, and I do plan to go there the week of February 7th. I had an issue with my vaccination status, which should all be cleared up for the week of February 7th. So unfortunately, I couldn't go there. Miles, say hi to everyone. We're gonna go on a boat here soon, even though it's a little chilly in Florida. Yeah, I couldn't get in. And it was kind of disappointing because I've been really interested in St. Kitts as this small beacon of like actual freedom out there. Maybe the only real freedom is an Elodium, right? So I'm working on my vaccination status to get in the country, but apart from the whole COVID situation, it seems like a fairly open, free country. I really want to go experience it because I'm sometimes considering moving to and relocating to and doing business over there. So that'll have to wait. But if you do go to Mark's channel, you'll see there's a ton of merchants over there right now, and I'm sure Bitcoin Jesus and other big Bitcoin Cash bulls are over there working very hard to spread it. And it's pretty easy to spread because, sorry if I'm blocking, to spread it because Bitcoin Cash, obviously, if you're watching this video and you use it, like it works, right? And I think the islands in general is a very good use case adoption for cryptocurrency, just because you have so many different countries that have so many different kinds of sovereign currencies that a very useful cryptocurrency to do cross-border payments and transactions would be great. OG says no vax requirements for entry here, but no island paradise either. What do you value more, island paradise or freedom of what you can put into your body? That's a tough one. But yeah, no, but it's more so, I think if you're a St. Kittian, they're not mandated to get the vaccine from what I was reading. It's us outsiders going there and spreading COVID onto their beautiful island. Which I guess on some level, like if you believe in property rights and I don't know, like, yeah, I guess the conversation on disease and, kind of free-thinking libertarian principles, like if I own my own body and I own my property, at what point can I, at what length do I have to protect that, right? So, but this conversation is not about that. This conversation is about the bull market the bull market in crypto. Florida seems to be a good balance. Florida has been great. It really has been. In consideration, like I am probably more radical on the amount of freedom I'd like to have, and but I gotta say, I was very, very skeptical of DeSantis taking office. He made some odd comments in the election cycle, but so far, he's pretty popular here. Um, the economy is doing fantastic, and even though there is taxes, the taxes are not an upward trend, which is good. And in terms of people being able to make decisions in their own lives, um, especially with COVID, he has a lot more respect towards that than most others. Check this dog on this boat. So, but yeah, the back to the bull market. It is an elongating cycle. It looks like. Um, and I haven't had a reason to change my thesis. And don't get me wrong, like sometimes you double think it, and like you want to protect, some of the profits that you've made from buying in the bear cycle. And I had done a little bit of that. I did sell some Luna that I bought around $5. I sold a bag of it around 70, 80 bucks there. Cardano that I bought around 20, 30 cents. I did sell a bag of it around $2, and these coins that run up so much, I'm more scared to hold than a coin like Bitcoin Cash, like which is one of my favorite coins, or even in the same trading nature, like even though I'm not a fan of Bitcoin BTC, like you're holding some, like you're probably going to see less volatile movement there. This is a good question. Do you think Fed rate hikes will affect crypto, or maybe they're bluffing? Yeah, the way I see that is certainly Fed hiking rates would not be good for any kind of market that is more speculative in nature. It's specifically, I think it's very tough for growth stocks, because growth stocks rely on a lot of borrowing capital. But cryptos in more speculative nature stocks kind of trade together, so it would hurt it. But I think what's happening, and why you're not going to see such a bearish scenario play out, with like it feels like interest rates have to rise and somewhat soon, is that the lack of courage to do it by politicians, like they say they're going to do it, and them saying that they're going to raise interest rates gets so priced into the market that you get these huge sell-offs that we've seen in crypto and stocks, and then whatever they do is so underwhelming than what the right thing to do. And I would say the right thing, like interest rates really should be priced by the market, right? They shouldn't be priced by politicians. And I'm speculating that they probably should be higher. Like, and the cost of risk, like, should not be manipulated at a very, like, essentially zero for a long time. I'm assuming that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think if the free market was setting risk, that it would be higher. And I think they lack such courage to do it. And if you look at Nancy Pelosi, she has calls on the stock market that go out throughout the summer and into next year. So she's the greatest investor of all time, and a very crooked politician, and the way she invests her capital. But she gets massive returns because she knows what's going on there. She holds a lot of power, and it's quite fascinating to that she's better than like the legends of Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and I forget some of my other favorite, some other big investors out there. So yeah, that's a reason to be bullish. Nancy Pelosi, the lack of courage of politicians to deal with a stock market that just doesn't go up, right? Stock markets, it would be nice if they always went up, but that's not the true nature of a market, right? But it's bad politically to have a slumping stock market. That could hurt you around election cycle because it could see it as your fault, right? But markets, do recess in ways to reallocate capital in a more appropriate way. It's not like this really bad thing that there's a market pullback. It's the market reallocating resources to those that were using it inefficiently. But that's not popular. So what you have happen these, bubble stock markets is that you have the government props up, people that don't deserve their place in the market, and they become really overvalued. And these companies, that we saw like back in 2007, 2008, these companies were actually on the verge of bankruptcy, but yet government propped them up. They were not efficiently run companies. There's better talent out there that needed the resources probably. And but that's the nature of the Keynesian cycle. So and right now, as crypto is still a speculative asset, and I say that in terms of like its level of adoption is more speculative in nature. I should say that. I mean, to me, it seems it's inevitable, right? Crypto is inevitable, but it trades on par with other speculative instruments, growth stocks and things like that. So, OG, I love the question. That's my perspective, at least, right? This is all my opinion. So, like I said, as long as crypto is above fair market value, and it hasn't gone below there for any kind of sustained amount of time, and I think I'm still very excited. What's happening? You want to go back? We're gonna wrap up here. You want to say bye to my friends? Appreciate you coming on the walk with me. Yeah. So if you're holding crypto, I wouldn't. Like I said, if you have some huge profits on that, like I can never begrudge anyone from taking profits if you're sitting on 10x type of returns, right? That's obviously it's very hard to hold throughout all that, and I wonder how great investors like let's say the old early Bitcoiners, let's say a Roger, very lucky to know Roger here. Like I think Roger has held through so much volatility, and that was the right thing to do, right? And if you look at like some of the richest people in the world, they're not necessarily traders, right? They're the greatest, they're the most rich people in the world. Daddy. Are long-term investors and people that own like their stock and typically their businesses. We're gonna go home, baby. We'll go for a walk back. All right, guys, we'll walk back to the house. This is beautiful out here, though. I was enjoying it. So, but if you are under, so I wouldn't rush to sell like all of my crypto. Like when I sell something, I don't sell all of it. But and if there are coins that are undervalued, like I do think like Bitcoin Cash, and I do think all these coins that have underperformed, like those are the coins that I feel most bullish on, because they actually been around for a while and they have. Miles, they say hi, everyone. The coins that are OG coins that actually have like stable investor bases, right? Like Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, even Bitcoin. Like whenever you get these dips where these coins have been around for a long time, that people are very involved in the community, you have all these dip buyers, people that buy the dip, that hold up, an intrinsic value that that is going to exist whether it's a bull or bear market. Kicking off live stream city. Yeah, I'm on a little island called Pine Island in Florida's Gulf Coast. Cody, what's up, brother? You guys don't mind tapping that thumbs up button. Jeremy, I watched. Everyone should go check out, and everyone should use prompt.cash to support Bitcoin Cash and the Bitcoin Cash podcast. But a really, really good live stream, and I gotta say, Jeremy is just like a person. Like if you're on the Bitcoin Cash, team building, like he's someone that like is so valuable to like like the way, like just the emotion towards the bear cycle, which we have a difference of opinion on, obviously with the title of this video, but like that you need that kind of attitude for people building on your project in a bear market, because we all know bull or bear market, right? If you're into crypto and you're building in this space, it doesn't really matter, right? And crypto isn't, unfortunately, going to take over everything tomorrow, right? Like everyone's not going to go dump their dollars, and sorry, I'm going to change my hands here, and switch to Bitcoin Cash tomorrow. This is a multi-decade year process, right? So people that get overly emotional during market swings, those people are not going to build the future world. But someone like Jeremy is, and Jeremy does such a great job with his podcast, and I do look forward to a bear market with people like that, because that's the kind of people that are going to really build community and highlight things, and we're going to do a lot of exciting things in the future, as everything goes. So even though, so if you heard my bullish tone, go on and listen to Jeremy's podcast that just got put up. I don't know if it's still on prompt.cash or if it's been released to the public yet, but a very healthy look at the market. If we are in a bear cycle, and if you're into crypto for more than just its speculative nature, then you need to deal with the bear cycles along with the bull cycles, right? It's not just, everyone thinks it's just easy. Go here and buy crypto and get rich, right? It's much harder than that. God, it's beautiful out here, guys. Still on prompt for a couple days. Yeah, prompt.cash support projects on Bitcoin Cash like prompt.cash. And it does, every little bit helps support the channel. Go on and donate to the Bitcoin Cash podcast. It's great content. ECH is the, sorry, I missed that comment. Guys, how do we get back home? So, yeah, guys, Jeremy, call me crazy, but I'm bullish. And I do look forward to the next bear market. If you look at, Jeremy, I was talking about the Trolo there, the bottom bands is where I'm really excited to buy a lot of crypto, and that's only going to happen in the bear market. You're not going to be able to buy at those levels in a bull market, right? You're lucky to get fair market value in a bull market. And right now, it is like actually a rare opportunity. If we are, and I am right, if we are in a bull market, it is a rare opportunity to buy crypto at fair market value in a bull market. So if that thesis is right, it's very, very bullish. Now end of January, third of the time. April has elapsed. No idea. Yeah, I did put a timeline. I was like, I think we blow off by March. And the closer we get to it, and the more so that we don't. But I did say, Jeremy, if we fall below fair market value, according to the Trolo chart, or essentially, the big coins like Ethereum and Bitcoin go below their last year March lows, I would really concede then, saying, yeah, this thing is gonna fall further and go sideways for a while, and come up with a strategy to get as much crypto in that type of scenario as possible. But right now we're still above fair market value. The biggest coins in the sector have not gone below the March crash, so we're still seeing an upward trend from that perspective. And but I'd be careful, and I'd be careful in the little coins. Like I said, I reduced exposure to Cardano, Luna, coins that I hit some home runs on. Some coins I have, I've even speculated some Filecoin. Like, I do play around with the markets, right? But you guys know where my heart is. Bitcoin Cash. See you next time, guys.